Good evening.
Our guests this evening, good evening again. This part of the meeting is where the speaker will receive comments and suggestions where you can be better in your next speech. And also, my role this evening is to give a general evaluation on the overall meeting of this evening. First, it's my great pleasure to introduce the only one evaluator for this evening that's going to be coming up to evaluate Tasha's speech this evening is none other than our Toastmaster, Jonathan Moy.
Yes, it's me again. Tasha, I got to pat your mentor on the back. You did an outstanding job training you. Outstanding job. Well, I tell you.
Surely he pulling himself down.
Listen to this title. It was never about a hot dog. I can just picture, as Tasha was given a description, as she was going through Woolworth, walking through almost the entire store, just to get to a section of the store where she can receive service. I can imagine getting to that food counter, and all she wanted was a hot dog and a Coke. But it wasn't about a hot dog and a Coke. It was about receiving service like everyone else, anywhere else in the store. Your speech was timely. Today is the 1st of February, which we start celebrating Black History Month. So it's very timely and suitable for our audience. Get us in that mood, wake us up and make us remember what happened during the 60s as well as the 50s, where we went through that turbulent time. How effective was Tasha's speech for us to identify? I personally can remember being on a bus as a young child, very young child, in Newark, New Jersey, when a mob scene came from downtown up Sterling Street and in Springfield Avenue. And the bus just stopped as these people went through, and they destroyed everything in sight. So I can remember what happened during the 60s. So it brought back some memories that I can identify with. And as you contemplate those thoughts, think back in your own small towns, big cities, where you're from. Could you remember something like that? Have you heard stories that remind you of what people went through just to get a hot dog and a Coke? Were her stories appropriate? I said, yes, they were. What could the speaker have done differently? One of the things that kept rolling around in my mind, where was Woolworth in Jacksonville? What part of downtown was it located? Because I was trying to visualize where this scene took place. I can tell you downtown Newark, around the corner of Broad Market Street, used to be a Woolworth. And you can picture going to that food counter. But where was it in Jacksonville? So I kept wondering about that. What did I like about the speech? I was able to visualize a period in my life that was very identifying. I was able to not only visualize it, but I was able to communicate that to others as I was growing up so they don't have to go through it as well. It helped all of us to identify. So if we see that kind of oppression start up again, we can say, not again, never again. I pictured Mr. Hearst as we gave an account of his life and what he had to go through. Could you imagine doing a sit-in today? Could you picture that? Could you picture this elder gentleman and for months going through that ordeal? The abuse that he may have had to go through. Could you see that today? But I'm here to tell you, it may not be happening here in America, but it's probably happening elsewhere in the world. Elsewhere in the world. So your speech was very timely, not only for us here, but to help us reflect on what the struggles that others are going through. So I appreciate your presentation and your tenacity in presenting it to us. Thank you, Mr. Matthew Bagley.
Thank you, Jonathan. Mike, may I have the time of Jonathan?
3 minutes and 35 seconds.
Usually at this time, I would ask our timer to give us 1 minute on the clock to vote for the best evaluator. Since we only have one person this evening, we're going to skip that part. Next, I will give an overall evaluation on our meeting this evening. I believe we start the meeting on time, and when the grammarian person, Jamie, announced it and tell us what her role was, what I was hoping to hear from her, that which she told us that her role was not only to count how many words of the day that each one of us is going to use, but she also mentioned that she's going to be listen actively to the grammar part, the usage of the grammar. That is very important. That is the other responsibility as the grammarian, not just only to give out the word of the day and count. Tim Ing said 2 times. Tim Ing said 0 times. It's more than that. It's just to help us to use it correctly, grammatically correct. Sorry, I'm trying. My tongue would flip. I like also when our residing president gave the time 5 minutes to our area governor for her speech time. I think that's very good. So we all know we stay on time here. And also I like to comment on our Toastmaster. She keep us up with the time as well, and she move on to the next topic on time as scheduled. At 7 o'clock, she turned control over of the lectern to Valerie Bayham for her table topics. That's a great job. What we could do better, continue to do what we've been doing. So great job. At this time, I'd like to turn the control over to our Toastmaster for this evening is Renee Moore.